So, how's it going, everybody? Great intro start. My name is Drakephose. I'm joined by Laura again. How are you doing, Laura?
Hey everyone.
We're going to be covering Super Gore Nest today. This level is an excellent example as to why the world record is now gospel, and why you should view some to like fully understand and learn some of these levels, or to fully understand why the runner does some of these things. You need like broader context.
Mm-hmm.
Super
I
Gore
agree.
Nest. Super Gore Nest. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm gonna be trying to like temper myself and relax, because there's a lot of new things that have developed on Super Gore Nest, but a lot of them straight up don't matter for you. But also I'm going to show them to you because I want to like explain to you why the runner isn't doing them for a variety of reasons. A lot of them are relevant. You wanted to say something, Laura? I think I was interrupting you.
No. I agree. I think Super Gore Nest is a great level. I loved it casually, and I think it's a lot of fun. But it's a very, I won't say weird level.
Execution-based level, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like there aren't huge tricks like Doom 100 base or
Exactly.
Urdak, for Christ's sakes, where you're doing mega tricks, right? It's a lot of just like ballista boosting, bunny hopping, but also like fight routing and just like executing
And
crisply.
I dropped by a Devo stream the other day, and he was talking about the spawns, and the spawns in SGN are very weird because they're fodder based for a number of them. So I know, and he was talking about the spawns, and he was saying he didn't actually know what the spawn triggers were, and Devo's a good runner. He has a sub 3 hour run. He ran the game a lot, and he knows the game really well. And yet a player like Devo doesn't really know SGN that well, because it's a weird level. It's a bit difficult, but I think it's interesting, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy SGN as a Super Gore Nest as a level.
I think Super Gore Nest is one of those levels for me. I personally really like it because the fight routing, it's an excellent example of how a fight, when you design a fight well, it can be both dynamic and predictable. Like, it can be very interesting and a lot of movement base, right? When you just throw in a bunch of randomness, it can be dynamic, but it's not very fun when you're trying to speedrun it. But we'll get to the Slayer Gate in a moment in this fucking level. Holy crap. Anyway, so I'm just going to start off by playing the video.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, I'm going to cover the first fight in a lot of detail, but I'm not going to cover the rest of them in a lot of detail because the first fight has a lot of nuances that are actually going to help you. The rest of them I'm just going to cover like lightly. So we're going to start off, we're just going to watch what he does here. First thing he's going to do is going to upgrade Precision Bolt. He should have upgraded it beforehand, but I will forgive him. I like it when people upgrade as early as possible. So that's mainly because of my preference, because I tend to forget. So he does a little hook over there, not that big of a deal, just some movement optimization. Ballista boosts into the fight. And then now he kills some fodder. Believe it or not, the mecha zombies aren't required, but he's going to kill them anyway. That's actually important that he does. I mean, they're required, but not, it's actually, it's complicated. I'll get to it. Now he does something very fucking risky that you should not do. Don't do this. I'm going to back up here for a second. 100 HP, or 120 HP, 100 armor. Don't do that. Don't do that. He could easily die. You and I would die. He's lucky he didn't die. Don't do it. You can do it a little bit safer than he does it. So I'm just gonna let this play out. All right, does some stuff there. Notice how he looks over there with the lock on. We'll explain why later. Then he locks on there instead. Chainsaw to grab some ammo. Then he bangs out this meatball, snake. Then he goes over and grabs a secret. This is about the ideal time to grab the secret. There's not much. I'm not going to really go into detail about grabbing the secret. That's just probably the best time to pick it up. And then he cleans up. Fodder's far away for some reason. There you go. Alright. So, that seemed like a pretty chaotic fight where you just run around and like you kill shit. It's actually quite a bit choreographed. So let's get into it for a second. So, first we're going to do our normal stuff. Hook over here. Notice how my eat hooks are not nearly as good as his because my frame rate's much lower. First thing we're going to do is we're going to bang that out, and then I'm going to describe to you the fight. So here's a bunch of stuff that spawns. None of these dudes matter. You can just walk past them. They're actually going to die. Hilariously. So the way this fight works is we have two imps over here. We have a bunch of infighting over here. We have this Mancubus that initially spawns down here, but then we'll jump up here. I have no target on right now, and I'm going to turn down the game volume. I have no target on right now, so he's not targeting me, but usually he'll spawn down here, start attacking you. You have to hide for him to get up here, right? He'll jump up after you eventually. Then you have these two infighting down here, a Manc over here, and that's fighting a zombie. And then we have a zombie over here that's fighting a Mancubus, but is not actually, the Mancubus isn't fighting back. That zombie actually typically spawns about here, and then he'll just come over there, right? Alright, so now, I mentioned before haphazardly when I should have just waited, is that, okay, now they start fighting. I mentioned haphazardly that these mecha zombies aren't required. And in fact, the end condition for this fight is that everything is dead, but it doesn't have to include the zombies and mecha zombies, right? So why does he kill them? Well, because the second wave of this fight starts after you've killed any 10 enemies.
Yeah.
Right? Any 10 enemies, it doesn't matter, right? So when they kill these guys, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not even killing the Mancubus. 9, 10. You notice that guy jumps down. There's actually another soldier back there that jumps down, and then a Revenant after a few seconds. You can see his little feet sticking out here, jumps down. So that's the first wave. Right? Again, Mancubus, 2 Mancubus are alive, and the next wave will start. Then after a little while, the fodder will start spawning, the imps from the next wave. After we kill the Revenants, 2 Prowlers spawn, and a Hell Knight spawns that will drop down over here. After that, all we have to do is kill the Hell Knights. Damage the Cacodemon enough that it spawns the snakes. You might as well kill it if you're going to damage it. Spawns those 2 snakes, and then you clear everything. So, the way Zai does it is not like the fastest way to do the fight, but the fastest way to do the fight is dangerous. The fastest way to do the fight is to like do this normal stuff, you kill that stuff, blow up those barrels, and you go down here. After you like take a shot over there, you go down here and you fight this guy in his face. And as you can imagine, that's very scary. Instead, what I recommend you do, and I wouldn't recommend what you do, what Zai does either, because it also is like kind of scary. I'm going to try and do this very slowly here. We're going to nade, we're going to rockets, turn around, break this, and then we're going to lock onto this guy. Lock on, and then ballista. Then we're going to jump up over here, and we're just going to kill the soldier. We're going to whiff shots for the whole world to see. And then we're going to hook in, we're going to back off after the hook to make sure we don't die. And then we're going to lock onto the Mancubus.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the same thing to him. Then soldier drops down, we're going to kill him, and then we're going to fly over here. And now I'm going to pause for a second. The Revenant here is going to jump overhead. I want you to wait till he lands, and then I want you to kill him. Because if you shoot him in midair, he's going to fall off, and he might fall off down there. Just wait till he lands, 2 shot, and then there you go. So that's the first little tip. Let's just go through this quick. Oopsie. Let me just speed this up. As you can see, quite a bit of a delay. Actually, did I break the fight? Anyway, yeah. So here we go. Boom, boom. We kill him. And then we're going to jump over here. That's actually very important. And we're going to kill these dudes. And then we're going to turn around and lock on. Then we're going to turn around again. Kill the Cacodemon. We're going to ice bomb. And then kill the snake. And then we're going to lock onto the snake. Or we're going to hook onto the snake because this is Hondo. We're going to grab the thing. And then we're going to lock onto the snake. And then we're going to clear the fight. And where's the meat? Where's the carcass? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, some little tidbits that I actually got into and I should have actually got into properly. So I mentioned earlier how you want to wait till a Revenant lands. Additionally, right after you kill a Revenant, right, whatever method you use, when you jump up to kill this Prowler, don't jump up this way. It's actually kind of important. If you jump up this way, the carcass has a chance of putting a shield up, and then you just drop over here, and then the fight route is just completely ruined, and it just turns into chaos. And it's very scary, because there's free-roaming Prowlers and a carcass, and that's very scary. So you want to actually, so the way I aim is actually aim towards this bit right here. So I just kind of do this, right? It seems like a minor detail, but it's actually really helpful. After you blast the first Prowler, you're going to jump. and you're going to kill the second Prowler this way. I found that actually when you stand and you do this on the Prowler, there's a good chance the Carcass will put a shield up right in front of you. But when you jump, he doesn't. For whatever reason. I can't explain it.
Interesting.
Tiny little detail there. Right? Then you're going to lock onto the... I also, by the way, don't stand up here when you're doing... Yeah, meat hook can sometimes work. I found that in my runs, meat hook actually can sometimes screw me over. Absolutely massive who's in my chat. Don't stand up here because then the Hell Knight will just stand still with and be like, where'd he go? Right? You want to drop down here because then he can actually pathfind to you. And he's usually going to be over there. That's why Zai was looking over here when he first did it. And then he looked down because sometimes the Hell Knight will be there. Right? And then you kill that thing, kill this thing, and then the rest is the same. Okay? Make sure to pick up your ammo. Right? There's actually, the way Zai routes it is very important. Also, wait, did I mention... Ah, yes, I forgot. Okay, very important. After you kill the Hell Knight, I want you to chainsaw some after you kill the Hell Knight. And then go for the meatball. Seems like a small detail, but it's not the most optimal chainsaw routing, but it's the best one for beginner. Right? It's just the best one for beginner. So let's just try
you have a free chainsaw just afterwards, so...
Yeah, you get chainsaw fuel afterwards. So I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to jump in. Nade rockets. Lock onto this guy. Might be a zombie left alive, that's fine. Kill a soldier. We're going to hook in carefully. Clean him up. Actually want to kill the zombie right away.
Yeah, because it's dead, so...
Yeah. And then we're going to do that. Oopsie, one of the rockets failed to hit him. A little bit slow, that's fine. As long as we're not dead. Jump up to the spot I told you about. Kill this guy. Where's a dude to chainsaw? Here's one. And then we do, oh, I forget. 100%.
Pick up secret.
And then we carry on with the fight. Cool. Very simple. Right?
Yeah.
Very simple order. Be careful. Take your time. Don't get too chaotic. If the fight gets chaotic, just back up. Take pot shots. This fight, if you don't follow that order, the reason why I'm not showing you very optimized ordering is because if you don't do it optimized, if you go for the optimized method, if one thing goes wrong, it can turn to chaos, and in Ultra Nightmare that can be very scary. So that's why I'd recommend that very slow, steady, where you just lock on, kill one, lock on, kill another, carefully kill this Mancubus over here, and blah, blah, blah. Now, there is another method, there is another route here. Instead of going for this Mancubus, or instead of killing this Mancubus and then going for the Revenant, so you kill a Mancubus, right? Kill a Mancubus, and then you go over that after this Revenant. You instead just go after the Mancubus, and then you kill this soldier over here, and there's another soldier that's going to be over here. You're going to kill him, and then you're going to go over and kill the carcass that spawns right here. This is where the carcass spawns. Then you're going to jump up over here, and then the Revenant should jump up over here. You can lock onto him. The Hell Knight should come through this opening right here and drop down here, lock onto him, and then you go after the Prowlers and do the fight pretty much exactly the same. Prowler, blast, chainsaw, meatball, etc. That's another method if the carcass ends up bothering you. Maybe at my frame rate, he doesn't put up the shield as often, but maybe at yours he does. Chat, could you do me a favor and let me know if the frame rate of my stream looks good? It looks really choppy on my preview on OBS. Let me know if it's really bad, if I need to disable the preview. Okay, so that's the first fight. Let's recap for a second. So you're gonna come in, you can dash. It's pretty choppy. How is it now? Is it better now? But watchable? Okay. Shit. Let me lower my Discord quality.
Oh yeah, do that, of course.
If I know how to.
Eats up so much bandwidth and CPU.
Let me stop streaming too for a second, and then I will restart. Okay, let's do that. It might not be bandwidth, it might be my CPU. How is it now? Is it any better? How's the game look? I'll just wait for chat to confirm. Much better. Thank you. Thank you, Tess. Okay, so come in, ballista boosts. Clean this up with a nade, maybe a rocket. break that. Lock onto the Mancubus over here. Kill an extra dude here. And over here, carefully kill the Mancubus with Super Shotgun. This is just so we have enough rockets. You can rocket him, but we're not going to have enough rockets if you do it that way. Lock on, break that. Make sure to kill the zombie before you do. Take a pot shot at that soldier and then move over here. Kill that dude. Kill this dude. Lock on, chainsaw, kill. And then these two, hook up there, finish them off, and then complete the rest of the fight. Okay. Seems like a lot, but take your time with this, etc., etc. Now, let's do this. Give ammo. Infinite. I can't type. Ammo 1. Armor. Armor.
Yeah, what you said earlier about the fight and SGN being choreographed is very true, and I think that's one of the reasons I enjoyed it so much, is that upon replaying it, you kind of it feels like you can kind of make this dance, especially on this fight where you have this rhythm, and as long as you keep to the rhythm, you're going to clear it properly, and it's going to be great. So it's important to know, in my opinion, it's important to know the triggers a bit more in SGN than in the other levels, because they're not as much kill big stuff as kill X number of fodder or X number of mobs, which is, it's weird because I think it's probably it's the only level in the game that works that way, and there aren't that many fights outside of SGN where it's X number of mobs or X number of heavy demons plus Y number of fodder. So
there's
it's important to know the triggers. Yeah.
Normally fights are just like you kill 2-3 heavies, and then the next wave, and then you kill heavies, and then you clean up the fodder. Super Gore Nest has a few weird ones. I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't agree with you that it's like one of the only levels. There's a few other, like Mars Core has a couple of its own, but the big ones. This is probably the biggest fights. Like every other fight in Super Gore Nest is tiny. These ones are big fights, and they're kind of complicated. Like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heavies in this fight. It's a big one.
Yeah,
it's a big fight.
It is.
Okay, so let's move on. That fight, you'll get it through practice and taking some time. I'd recommend practicing it. Some other fights you can kind of just glaze through, but that one can get kind of spicy if you don't practice it. Okay, so moving on. So the pinky breaks through the window, and in this level we have to kill 3 pinkies. What did I just do? Oh, I guess I upgraded something by accident. Anyway, we have to kill 3 pinkies with 3 different glory kills. You're going to see that there's only 2 pinkies. If you pay attention, there's only 2 pinkies in this level that are required to kill. Why don't we kill those? We'll get to that when we get to the Super Gore Nest. Or to the Slayer Gate, excuse me.
Yeah.
So this one is not required, but we're going to kill it anyway. The method he's going to use is going to be PB Rocket 3 times. I'd recommend this method. Pretty simple. You just PB Rocket them to the face, and it's fine. Spectres have different HP. We'll get to him. He's going to glory kill a Spectre. They have different HP and properties. But that's for just pinkies. Right, that method's just for pinkies. We're going to pick up Destroy Blade because it's awesome, as we covered in episode 0. And you're going to see a few uses of it here. I think there's a couple uses. Yeah. Just going to do some movement over here. And then this fight, I'm not going to get too much into it. There's a few ways to do it. He's going to do it this way. He's going to kill those 2 soldiers with barrels, kill the spider, and then he's going to go back for the gargoyles. I prefer to go for the gargoyles right after the soldiers, but he does it this way. Then he's going to ballista boost up. Honestly, it's preference. And then he's going to again PB Rocket this pinky in the face. He did an up kill. He did a air kill the first time. He's doing a forward kill this time. Small little optimization. Grabs a token. Grabs a token. Does some shots there. Does some little movement optimizations there to grab that. Nice thing about this level is that you completely refill on rockets in this cache, so you can actually just dump rockets in a lot of the earlier fights. We only chainsaw because we just barely don't have enough in that first fight. Now he's going to do this fight. This fight's very scary.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying. So just like
died so many times on my first playthrough.
Take care of it. If you want to do this optimally, you kill 3 or 4 things and then chainsaw. Don't worry about it. Just kill shit. Don't even think about I need no. Just fucking kill shit. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The prowler will always spawn here. Let me actually show you where this prowler spawns. So you dropped for some orientation because it's hard to see sometimes when you're. So you drop down right here, right? You come in, you drop down like this, right? Your 2 mechas are going to be on underneath you when you come down. They're apparently in fight. I didn't actually know that. Gargoyle up there, gargoyle up there. 2 soldiers over here. One of them is going to be a shield. The Prowler's going to pop out of this hole. So you see him wetting. He kills all this stuff and then he just waits, hooks onto it, and there you go. So that's your orientation. Okay, so he hooks onto it immediately, and then the portal he goes into is right beside him. So it's right there and then right there. That's the one you want to go to, just for some orientation. Oopsie, what did I do? I hit something. Let's go back. This is for later. Yep, kills everything there. Wastes a bit of plasma, not ideal, it's fine. Again, doesn't matter. Goes in that portal. Now here's an important part. He messes this up. He throws a nade. You actually want to throw an ice bomb here, because that carcass will regularly put up a shield right in front of you, and you want to kill it. You just straight up want to kill this carcass. He actually takes the time. He doesn't run past it, he takes the time to kill it, because it's going to put up shields and everywhere. Cute little chainsaw spot. Not the freest spot, but it's probably the safest one. It's not free, but it's very cheap because you have to wait a little bit as well. Grab some stuff. Some little movement here. Activates the secret encounter, and then he's going to charge a D-blade and do some bunny hops with it. Throws ice bomb for safety. Actually not necessary. He actually didn't want to get both mechas. There are 2 mechas that spawn here. They spawn like, I believe it's like, let me orient myself. They spawn like right here and here. He actually got both of them. He actually wants to get only one so that he can chainsaw this one and then get into the portal. So that's why you see him chasing around here looking for a mecha, just so he can chainsaw it.
It's interesting. I didn't know that. So you said pretty casually bunny hop with D-blade.
Yeah, you can do that and yeah. I don't know if you guys, how well you guys have covered bunny hopping tech, but you can bunny hop while charging the D-blade, and you can avoid the immobility problems that you have when you have D-blade.
I referred to Bloodshot's NMG mobility tutorial, so it was covered perfectly. Yes, yeah. Right. That's fine. You guys should be watching that tutorial anyway. Like, yeah. Yeah. No, but you said it pretty casually. But yeah, you can bunny hop while charging the D-blade,
and that keeps you mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It's actually one of the main reasons why Destroy Blade, Destroy Blade would still probably be useful, but just not nearly as useful. Because there's some spots. Okay, so here, I'm gonna go back here for a second. This seems like a minor thing, but I don't know when he grew a giant pair of titanium balls, because don't do this. Just get saving throw. Why is he getting this? Who cares? He's not gonna use this. Just get saving throw. Don't do what he does. But it's a world record. No. Get saving throw. There's no reason not to get saving throw here.
Yeah, it doesn't cost any more time.
Yeah. If you're in trouble, just get saving throw. There you go.
He picks up. You might wonder why we're talking about saving throw. What runners do is that they pick up saving throw as soon as they can, and it doesn't cost any time. So after they've picked up their first 3 primary runes, and as soon as they get low on HP, immediately they open their rune tab.
Yeah.
And they swap in saving throw just in case. So they don't equip it. They don't have it on all the time, but they equip it just as they get into trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So upcoming is the Vermilion Canal fight. The way he does this, don't do it. I wouldn't even recommend you do this if you're an intermediate player, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it even if you're an advanced player who has lower FPS. So what he's going to do is he's going to hook over into the center, and he's going to shoot a rocket. And then he's going to pick up this before the rocket hits it, and the rocket will actually get the quad damage.
That's insane. Yeah.
This is a strat that was half discovered by me, half discovered by Bowser. I found that you could actually do this fight by picking up Onslaught almost immediately. Bowser figured out you could just pick it up immediately. So yeah, he's going to do that, kill all these heavies really quickly, and then he's going to start killing fodder. That's important. I'll get into that. Kill some fodder. This is one of those fancy fodder times. Yeah. Looks up directly where the Revenant is going to spawn. Second Revenant spawns. Kills Dread Knight. Meatball. Beyblades. Kill them Beyblades. Fuck Beyblades. Alright, so that looked super ridiculous. That's because it is. And don't fucking do it that way. Let's get out of here. So, oh my god, I have no idea where I am. Jesus. There we go, okay. So the way he does it, it's very, very close. Like if you mess up, if the fight degrades into madness, you're losing way more time than if you were to do it any other way. So let's describe the way the fight works. First, let's go over here. First little tip, when you're entering this fight, don't ballista boost. You can easily jump over a trigger. And if you jump over the trigger, you soft lock. And he runs over. Or you have to Alt F4 or whatever, right? The fight starts, and we have some infighting here. We have 1, 2 Mancubus, and they always spawn in the same spot. And we have 2 spiders that walk out through these holes, out onto this balcony area. A bunch of fodder over here, and blah, blah, blah. The requirement for the next wave to start, for the Revenants to spawn, the 2 Revenants that I pointed out, that one jumps down over here, and the other one jumps out over there, or spawns over there, is that you have to kill all 4 of these heavies, these 2 Mancubus, and the 2 spiders. And then you kill 4 fodder. You can't kill 4 fodder before you kill it. Like, you can't kill 4 of these dudes, then kill 4 of them, and then the Revenants spawn. No, you have to kill them after, right? So that's why you see Zai immediately go after these guys and then ignore them, and then he kills 4 of them. So the way I'd recommend you do it is you come in, you just dash over, you kill this guy, you lock onto one of these guys, you kill him, then you lock onto this guy, and then you kill him, and then you finish off the spider over here with double SSG or something like that. Then you start killing fodder. You count 1, 2, 3, and then usually there's a guy that spawns down here and always jumps up, right? You can kill him, he's a very easy shot. This guy usually drops down here sometimes. And then as you can see, 4 dudes spawn. After you kill the 4 dudes, then you grab 1 Revenant, 2 Revenant, Dread Knight, Meatball, Meatball, and then this guy. And these two Beyblades, these 2 carcasses. You can take your time with this. As you can see, I have plenty of time with Onslaught. As long as you make sure you get the 2 meatballs, that's fine, right? That's all you're really going for, because otherwise you'd have to 2-shot each meatball. Right? The Onslaught allows you 1 shot. These guys, you can just clean them up afterwards, right? So take your time with it, especially with these shots over here, and then you pick up Onslaught. So let's do it again. I actually got a checkpoint. I'm going to restart the mission, then fly over. Here we are. So I'm just going to dash in like this. It's Ice Bomb for safety. Lock on. Jump around so the dude misses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Onslaught. Kill. Oopsie. Dude dodge, it's fine. Plenty of time. And then we go after the carcasses. Done. Very simple. Okay? And I had plenty of time on my Onslaught as well, so you don't have to worry about it. So once again, to reiterate, we're going to come in, we're going to kill this Mancubus, kill the spider, kill the Mancubus, finish off the spider carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Revenant, Revenant, Dread Knight, Meatball, Meatball, and then 2 carcasses. Careful with the carcasses, make sure you take your time with them. They can Beyblade you to death. Very carefully. So that's what I would do with those. Okay, so let's go back to what Zai actually did and just so you can see how absolutely ridiculous it is. Alright? Rocket, bang, bang. I personally prefer precision bolting these demons, but you can also spray heavy cannon shots. It's a little bit easier, I would say. Right.
To PB or to spray?
To spray. I personally prefer PBing, but I play Counter-Strike and I think I have the best aim ever, so don't do what I do.
And I mean, I've played Counter-Strike and I have terrible aim.
Yeah. I played Counter-Strike for 6K hours though, so I have okay aim, but I'm not a god. I shouldn't be doing it.
I was terrible at that game. I was so bad.
Alright, so he just plugs it in. Blah, blah, blah. Cutscene, we're going to skip it. Does some ballista boosting, drops down.
I really don't have anything to add to the previous fight. I think you covered it really well. It's a hard fight to do the way Zai did, and explaining the triggers and knowing the triggers again is so important. So it's a doable fight, and you can doing it safely is more important than with like Zai right now.
Yeah, Also, if you have lower frame rate, I kind of touched on this a little bit. when you have low, the higher your frame rate is, the more aggressive demons are, and that sounds like a bad thing. At least, okay, I say that with caveats. We don't quite understand how frame rate affects AI. We do have some evidence that they make them more aggressive. So in some instances, if you do that fight and you try and do the fight the way Zai did, it could be that the imps just aren't that aggressive and they hide. And then you're like, and then you run out of onslaught and it's a disaster. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't even do it that way. I actually kill a Mancubus before I pick up onslaught. Because like otherwise it's inconsistent for me. I can do that strat, but it's just not consistent for me on my frame rate. So just a thing to mention about frame rate. So he comes down here, chainsaws for some plasma primarily, and then he's going to rocket and then ballista, and then he's going to hit him on the side, the Spectre. Right? Spectres have more HP than Pinkies, but they have no armor. So they actually have the same amount of HP as Revenants, and they take the same amount of damage as Revenants, unless you hit them on the tail, in which case they take more. So you can just treat them as Revenants, and with a Revenant you just rocket it and ballista it, and it will actually fall to the Revenant. So a little tip for you, you shoot him straight in the face, and there you go. Final glory kill, and the challenge is complete. Thankfully, this is the least this is the nicest glory kill challenge. The rest of them are going to suck, and you will see them.
It's the best of the worst.
Yeah, it's the best of the worst, that is true. I'm going to do some movement over here. Don't do what he does, just kill the stuff. He just like flies over it casually and just like, see you later, idiots. Nah, kill them. Just kill them. Carcasses are scary. Carcasses are scary, man. Yeah. Yeah, see, like
especially in close quarters like that, they can melee you. They can do a lot of dumb stuff.
I hate carcasses. Even at lower difficulties, carcasses, because you fight them close range, and then they just zoom around you, and it takes forever to find them. Like just even killing you is just a secondary effect almost. Okay, so this little thing he just deblades here, charges a deblade as he falls. Notice we haven't upgraded Destroy Blade yet, so this is fine to do because we're pre-charging it. He bunny hops. You could actually bunny hop all the way past this area. Let me demonstrate it. This is a strat I wouldn't recommend, and I can't even get it regularly. But he jumps down, and you can actually bunny hop all the way over here, and then Destroy Blade backwards.
Yeah,
right?
But bunny hopping from very great heights, weirdly enough, it's more difficult than, let's say, medium heights.
Actually, from big heights, it's actually the easiest. But like my problem with it is that for some reason, I can't consistently get good bunny hops here, even though my frame rate's decent, right?
Okay.
So that's the problem with this, but like, again, I wouldn't worry about it. It's also scary sometimes because you're flying in here with especially if you're a beginner, you're flying in here and you got to turn around and not get janked up by these guys, and then they could hit you up in the air and then you'll hit the ceiling with the Destroyer Blade. Don't worry about it. He even safely goes for just the Destroyer Blade on these 4. So just a quick thing to note, right? Doesn't even get all 4 of them. It's fine. It's just a little optimization. Chainsaws here. Finishes the Prowler. And then here, he does something that's crazy. And you shouldn't even try. He does this. Bruh. Let me just appreciate this for a second. This is awesome. Bruh. That is fucking hard. Now, it's hard for a variety of reasons, because your frame rate needs to be high enough for this to be worth it. Like, he's so close to him, his frame rate's 200 here, and he's gained mad speed. And then he ballista boosts with it. So the reason why this is a bad idea is because, one, your frame rate probably isn't going to be this high. And if it is, you have better things to do than this strat, because it's hard. But also because he doesn't kill the carcasses. What I'd recommend you do instead is you just go in and you just kill everything. Kill everything. Oopsie. Kill everything, and then pick up this. Pick up the rad suit. And then you can go have fun, right? The reason you don't want to do this is because the carcasses are also going to cause you problems later. They're going to cause you problems while you're moving around here, and I just don't think a beginner should have to deal with that. Just kill them. It's going to be easier for you. Excuse me.
Yeah, 2 carcasses and a Mancubus in an area with hazards and stuff like that is not to be laughed at.
It's very spooky.
Yeah.
It's very, very spooky. So he just ballista boosts here with some bunny hops and some movement. Pretty standard, right? Again, he takes damage here. Should pick up the rad suit if you're a beginner. We go over here. Take some more damage. Cute little optimization that you can do here. You break the secret encounter, and then he doesn't do this because I don't think I've ever showed anybody this, but you can do a cute little thing where you... Oops, you open up the secret encounter. Okay, let me actually describe the secret encounter first. When you do the secret encounter, a Mancubus spawns here. You're going to kill it. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a bunch of zombies that spawn in a row over here. Look at this. 3 of them spawn here, so after you open this, you can come over here while the Mancubus is spawning, toss a nade down, and then kill the Mancubus. Cute little optimization that he doesn't do, but I don't think he knew about it. Cute little thing you can do. There we go, we just do this pretty standard. And then we just sticky and knock rocket and nade. We stay far away from the... Okay, another thing actually with carcasses I should mention that he just did is when you want to hook into a carcass, you can actually one-shot a carcass by this close. But I'd recommend you PB him first and then hook. It's actually very, very important that you, because whether or not you kill him in one shot with the meat hook, close range with no damage done beforehand, is very RNG in some instances. And he can mess you up. He doesn't die and then he starts Beyblading around you and you're done. He runs over. You're dying. So don't even think about it. Just PB him first. And Zaya does that for a reason. So he just chainsaws Ballista Boosts out. Now you're going to notice he's going to run past this token that's over to our left. This is actually because of those carcasses. This is actually a choice that he made. He'd rather come back with fast travel rather than deal with the carcasses. Because again, tight corridor, very spooky carcass shields. A pinky comes down once you enter this area, once you pick up the red key. It's very spooky. Don't even, like, if you kill all the carcasses, you can come by, pick this token, or you can fast travel later. It's up to you. It's a small little optimization. Just something you can keep in mind. That's why he skips it here. He also skips Chaingun. Don't skip Chaingun! I beg you. Don't skip Chaingun. Wait, what? Come on. Unlock, please. Oh, there you go. Great key. Don't skip Chaingun, right? Might even want to kill the pinky. And then if you're on 1.1, I think they patched this. If you're 1.1, you can just grab it like that, right? And not fall down. I mean, even if you fall down, whatever. Who cares? Just kill the Dread Knight. It's not that scary alone. Alone, Dread Knight's fine. You come out, and then you move on. Why do we need the chain gun? You're going to see in a little bit. Because we're going to pick up a mod for Energy Shield. Or we're going to pick up a mod for the chain gun. So yeah, we're just going to control terminals, blah blah blah. Oops, yeah, actually I shouldn't skip that far. Let me actually go back. Activates the control terminal. Then he ballistas out. Now he pre-charges Destroy Blade. This is a safety strat. He's going to kill these 3 things. Okay,
this section could be very scary.
It is actually very scary. It's actually very important that you follow the safety strats pretty rigorously. So here, these 4 zombies, there's 2 zombies over here on the side. Yeah, there's 2 zombies over here on the side, and there's 2 more over here, and this shield dude. Those guys before don't actually trigger the next wave, which I'm going to talk about, but these 4 do. So you kill all 4 of these, and you actually chainsaw here because it takes a little while for these carcasses, for these doors to open, and the chainsaw just happens to be free. So that's a cute little optimization. Again, notice how he PBs before he hooks. Very important. Guarantees the kill. And then he's going to take his time to actually kill these dudes again because he's going to go pick up a mod over to the left here. Alright. Now, he's going to pick up Arbalist. Don't fucking pick up Arbalist. Nay. Niet. You're not allowed to pick up Arbalist. You are only allowed to pick up Chaingun Shield.
Yeah.
Alright. Energy Shield. Energy Shield is comically powerful. Let's go over to some enemies. Okay, there are not really that good enemies. Let's go back over here. Let's find some enemies. Alright, so these are spooky enemies. These are buffed enemies. I'm going to no target here. And I'm going to turn off God. Okay, these guys are messing me up. Come on. You're embarrassing me in front of the audience. Look how fast they're messing me. And I'm not even on Nightmare, but now I'm putting up Energy Shield. See how powerful it is? So much. It has 600 HP. It's that strong. It's so powerful. Yeah. It's like better than any other method to keep yourself alive. If you're in a pickle, turning on, it's better to pull out Energy Shield than it is to menu in saving throw. That's how good it is. So it's
And
really
it's
powerful.
600 HP, equivalent to
Yeah.
600 of your HP. There's no damage multiplier, damage whatever. It'll take
Yeah. 600 of the
basically,
HP in the bottom
yeah,
left, yeah.
exactly.
So it's really powerful.
At Super Gore Nest level, that's like 4 lives, basically.
Yeah.
No, 3 lives, 3 lives,
Yeah.
2 lives and a half.
Yeah. Zai gets it because he's really rehearsed in this level. Zai doesn't get it because he's really rehearsed in this level, and the Slayer Gate, if it doesn't meme you, if it doesn't screw with you, is actually pretty safe. This is probably the most dangerous area for beginner, and I'd get it solely for this reason, this area right here. But we'll cover that when we get to it. So first he's going to pick up Arbalist. Don't do that, pick up Energy Shield. It's very powerful, as you can see. And now he's going to go through here, and he's going to do some stuff that I don't recommend you do. He's going to do some baller-ass movement. That's awesome. He's going to punch that block. That's actually important for a trick that he's about to do. I'll explain why in a bit. Then he's going to do a Gangster Dash Boost. All the way over to Secret.
Such a cool dash boost.
Thank you. I discovered it.
Yeah.
It's called the Mortadella.
So cool.
You will call it the Mortadella. So you will abide by my silly names. So okay. Oh, and by the way, once again, he doesn't get saving throw. Maddie, what are you doing, my man? What are you doing?
That fight doesn't count towards completion,
count.
correct?
It doesn't count.
So you don't need to kill anything.
Alright. So I'm gonna reload just here to show you what you shouldn't be doing, or what you should be doing instead. So he does this. Let's see, target here. So he does this where he jumps up, kills this, and he finds himself over here, and he does some other stuff. This is super scary. If you're a beginner, you mess this up, a gargoyle traps you, you're dead. You're done. I would just forget that. I would just enter the area, ballista boosts, pass all this stuff. Don't even get fancy. Don't even get fancy and try and do this stuff over to the, like, don't even bother. Just do the intended way. Right? Play it nice and safe, the normal way. This one up would be an armor drop instead of a max armor. Right? Come over here and then you break the totem. Don't even bother with the fancy stuff. Right? And then you can, if you want to get fancy, you can do it this way. You can try and do that. I don't know what I bonked into. And just come over here. Right? Now, why did he punch this block? Well, because here's the dash boost he's going to do from up here. So, as you can see when I try this, it's not working. It's because there's an invisible wall right here. Right? And when you punch this block, the wall despawns. So that's why. And that allows him to do this dash boost. So we're going to come up here, and bob ourselves up and down. I'm holding forward, dash, and then I'm going to ballista boost over there. I'm going to do it again. And this one's a little bit tricky for newer players to be ballista boosting, but
it's tricky, but it's feasible when you think about it. It's 5, 6 inputs.
If you're comfortable with ballista boosting, it shouldn't be a challenge. But if you're not, don't even bother with it. It's an optimization, because the only difference is that instead of going like this, you're doing this. Right, like that's the difference in movement. It's a small change, right? Like instead of like it cuts out like it makes this 2 lines into one straight line. Now that's all it does. So it's an optimization. You don't have to do it. Instead, you could just do the same thing. Come up here, punch, grab this. Oopsie, I didn't actually mean to grab it. I just didn't. Whatever. Grab up here, and then you just dash boost. Do the same dash boost, but just keep holding forward. And go over here. Grab the battery. Oopsie. And then, go over here. With whatever method you want to, or just the intended dashes. So, that's the way you want to, that's the way you can do it, right? This one's super sexy and fancy, and I love it. but
I think it's worth practicing, and it's super sexy and fancy, and when you land it, you're happy, and it's
it's not the fun part of speedrunning.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too hard. It's not that hard of a trick, and it teaches you quick swapping, ballista boosting, dash boosting. So it gets you to practice a lot of skills you want to practice for 100% and for speedrunning in general. So you might as well practice this one.
Yep, it is what I like to call a sex strat. Moving on. All right.
Is that an acronym for something, or
no? It's just sex. Yeah. So he once again does not grab saving throw. Maddie, I beg you, get saving throw, my guy. Okay, again, high FPS can do that E-hook. And then he does something again. This is where another spot where high FPS helps here. I don't know if you noticed there. He's actually chainsawing a demon right there. He pressed the button. Press the button. Oh, where am I? Where am I? Oh boy, I'm lost. There we go. Press the button and he did like this. He came over here and chainsawed a demon. I can't actually do this because I think my frame rate isn't high enough. Like the mecha zombie will not chase me. The mecha zombie for him is like here, but for me it's like up here when I try and do this strat. So instead I come up here, I wait, then I press the button, and then I do the chainsaw strat. Right? You don't have to worry about that. Just press the button, chainsaw after. But worth mentioning. That's what you're seeing here, just to explain what you're seeing.
Another thing worth mentioning, I have a specialty which is I know the worst strats possible, and one of those is if you have the Chrono Strike perk, rune equipped, and you actually are using Chrono Strike while the cutscene appears. So for instance, say you've right-clicked in the air as the cutscene appears, the cutscene is going to play at Chrono Strike speed, which is extremely slow.
I'm gonna try that right now, live on air. I don't care if this episode's gonna be an hour long. I want to test this. What is this?
It is the worst thing.
I actually haven't used Chrono Strike in forever.
I think it's not too bad for survivability and stuff like that when you're starting out. We don't use it in the run anymore at all. Well, not anymore, but we've never used it. But obviously, if you use it, be sure not to use it there.
Anyway. Yeah, if you don't use it, yeah, okay, I didn't know that. It's interesting. Anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so he does something here that I don't like and I bother him about all the time. He wastes some plasma, and this actually costs him a ballista shot. But I understand his perspective. You could nade here, but it's a little slower. It won't kill the shield soldier fast enough. So you could just shoot him from a distance and break his shield, and it's nice and safe. Right? So I'd actually recommend that. At his level, I think he can nade and get away with it. But again, for safety. And this turns out to be a really good Super Gore Nest anyway, so it's fine. Some more standard movement, just grab some stuff. Ice bombs. A little optimization here. He grabs the secret before he starts killing stuff, because it kind of just puts him right in front of the spider. Kind of cute. Cute thing he discovered. And he breaks the turret for safety. Here he's going to tap the spider once, and then he's going to ballista, and then he's going to finish it off with lock-on in midair. Don't do that. You can just finish the spider off and then do the ballista jump to get up to here. You don't have to be fancy like that, especially if you're just starting out. Tries to chainsaw there because
you're more
what?
likely, if you're starting out, the spider's not going to be there. It's going to be somewhere else because you're going to have missed a shot and done something wrong and whatever. So
yeah. So
but maybe you can explain the jump pad ballista shot.
Well, I mean, the jump pad, you just go on the jump pad and then you ballista downwards, and it just gives you enough height to just do a second jump and then dash to the Slayer Gate key. I think they might have patched out in later patches that they might have put an invisible wall in front of the Slayer Gate key, in which case you're going to have to do it the intended way and go back to.
I don't think so, but maybe.
I think they did it in the Super Gore Nest Master level for some inexplicable reason. I remember that in some weird setup in that way. I can't remember the details, but either way, that's an easy trick. You don't have to do it the way it's intended if it's not patched out. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, going back to what I said earlier, he's going back to collect this token. Fast travel to Toxin Refinery. Just grabbing that little optimization so he doesn't have to kill the carcasses. And then, okay. I was dreading describing this, but I think I'm going to end up doing it. So, there is this trick. Let's see if I can actually do it here. Called white screening. Let's see if I can get it. Hopefully I've set up the level properly that this isn't an issue. Okay, good. Okay, so I've unlocked fast travel here. So, when you fast travel, I'm gonna fast travel to Vermilion Canal, right? I have no control right now. You see how I had very little control there? Only until the screen like fully fades out, and then there's a little pause, and then I can start moving again. If I fast travel, and then hit my dossier key twice, I'm going to be able to move during that white screen. So that's what he does there. Every time he fast travels, tabs, and then he can move around. You can even ballista boost, etc. So that's how he does that. Tiny optimization, not really important. I wouldn't worry about it, but I'm just going to mention it. That's the way it works. We don't know why that's the case. Probably some, I don't know, some muck up somewhere probably. Doesn't matter, but that's what he does there just for clarity's sake. That's how he's able to move like that. Here he upgrades. I think in the current route he should have upgraded. Should have upgraded here. So right when he fast travels, he should upgrade. Destroy Blade, right? And then these two, explosive pinatas, and then thicker skin. Right, that's what he should do there. Or if you're on lower difficulties, regenerating barrels, but most people are probably going to play Ultra Nightmare, so just get thicker skin. So that just a note about the routing in this particular level. So yeah, he's going to start the Slayer Gates. Going to do some upgrading. Cool. Fantastic. So for this Slayer Gate, again, I think this might be FPS dependent, where aggressiveness of demons is really important. So first he's going to start off by chainsawing, and then he's just going to go nuts on these soldiers. Nade, Sticky, they always happen to group up there, by the way. Let me actually go into the Slayer Gate and show you guys. So they always group up in that spot, and so you can consistently come in, maybe nade them, and then chainsaw the guy who always jumps up here, right? Because they always seem to group up here. It doesn't seem to matter what frame rate you're at. It seems to be that one guy always jumps up here, and then a bunch of them group up here. The way I like to do it, he doesn't do it. I think I don't know why he doesn't do it. I can't remember exactly. But you nade, and then you chainsaw, and then they all blow up, right? Now he's just going to continue on with this fight. He's just going to target the carcasses in particular. I'm not even sure if it's technically faster, but I think it's very scary if you don't, for sure. So like, just target the carcasses. Even if it isn't scary, it's just annoying to have carcasses block shots. He chainsaws. A little early of a chainsaw, but that's fine. You shouldn't chainsaw too much. Again, he's targeting carcasses.
You shouldn't chainsaw too much when you're advanced and you know the route. You should chainsaw as much as you.
The reason I'm specifically saying he chainsawed a little early here is because optimally you actually want to have a lot of ammo for the last wave, and if you don't, you can mess up. That's why I actually think you should, even if you overly chainsaw, I think you should like chainsaw 3 times here or 4 times here as opposed to 3. And if you're an advanced player, you should like be very careful with your chainsawing, because you're gonna be very low on precision bolt or very low on heavy cannon ammo in this fight. You're going to be doing a lot of precision bolting. So again, he's just going for headshots here whenever he can. Notice how like he doesn't have to rush here, he just is because he's a speedrunner. This fight is kind of on a timer. You can empty out everything at the beginning there immediately, and it'll still take a while for the next wave to spawn. And he comes to this bridge about this time. I can't tell you what this time is. It's just a feeling that you have when you've killed enough stuff. I would say that like after you've killed the fourth carcass, then you come to this center bridge here. And what he's waiting for is this Dread Knight that spawns right there. He actually got lucky and the Hell Knight spawned there as well. But he's waiting for that Dread Knight so he can lock on burst it. And then he kills it. He doesn't chase after these soldiers. He just kind of gets them because they're around. He doesn't chase after them. You actually don't want to chase after the soldiers. He just kind of gets them because they're there. Then he goes for the Prowler, and then the fight ends. Alright, so this isn't the best example for this tutorial, and this Slayer Gate is kind of complicated. But once that Dread Knight spawns, the condition for the Slayer Gate to end is that nothing must be alive on the field. What do I mean by that? Typically, when a fight ends after you've killed everything. What I mean by nothing is alive means that even if something is right about to spawn, but the field is empty, the fight will end, right? So in that case, the field is empty right before the Pinky spawned, and the fight ended, right? So he kind of gets pretty lucky here. Normally, you can expect this fight to end if you do it properly, about right after you kill the Pinky. You kill the Pinky, and then maybe you have to kill an extra Hell Knight or Prowler. But he gets lucky, he kills it before the Pinky. Right? But the way this fight is actually supposed to work is that you're supposed to like kill that Pinky, then another Pinky spawns, 2 more Prowlers spawn, and another Hell Knight. So he skips like 2 heavies and 2 more Prowlers, right? In this instance. I wouldn't worry about going for this quick kill. I would just worry about staying alive. So let's go into this fight a little bit more detail, because this one's kind of the biggest pain in the ass for me. So we're just gonna start off. I'm gonna do what I said. Just gonna nade over here and chainsaw. And then actually, instead of going up there, what I'm gonna recommend you do is you go over to the side here. And you kill some carcasses, 1, 2. And then you stay up here in the middle of this bridge instead. So that's 3 carcasses. And then you just kill stuff. You don't have to rush too much. Try not to stray too far away from this area. And the reason I'm saying that is because at lower frame rates, they're just not going to chase you as much, and you kind of want to be at the center of the map. Killing stuff. And then about now, I recommend you chainsaw. Okay? And that's why. Because the Dread Knight spawns. And you want ammo once the Dread Knight spawns. Then you kill the Dread Knight. I like to PBSSG him. Lock on. Kill a Prowler. And then we're going to kill the Pinky. And if you can, go after soldiers in the meantime. Oh, I was a little slow. Oh, I spawned. Right. And as you can see, I was too slow, and the fight continued, and I spawned a bunch of other stuff. Right. Again, I wouldn't worry about that. The reason I want you to do it that way, where you first start off over here and you kill stuff right in the middle, is because if you come up here, it's very easy for demons to hide, right? Carcasses spawn like right here, and you have to come out like this to see them, and then you don't see anything, and like they all kind of spawn in this back sort of area here, the carcasses, right? Instead, when you're here, your risk of then coming up behind you and then Beyblading you to death. Instead, you could just come over here, and they're going to naturally sort of jump up towards you eventually, right? And you can kill soldiers, and you're nice, good distance, and nobody's hiding. It's much harder for them to hide. So I recommend you do it that way. And then the way I time when you should chainsaw the second time, because it's actually kind of important that you chainsaw the second time so you have enough ammo for the next wave, is after I chainsaw the first time, I should have no chainsaw, so it should be recharging. What I do is I just chainsaw immediately after recharges. And that's about the time, if I do the fight somewhat reasonably, like, okay, that's about the time when the Dread Knight should spawn. And then after I chainsaw, I come up here, and then, you know, finish off any leftover soldiers, whatever I can find. And then the Dread Knight spawns in front of me. We kill him, pull a rocket launcher, and then we go after the Hell Knight, right? After we kill the Hell Knight, we find any Prowlers, any soldiers, and the Pinky will spawn in one of 3 locations if you're standing here. You'll spawn either there, here, or over there. So we're going to kill the Dread Knight, kill the Hell Knight, whatever's close. The Prowler usually spawns here. We can PB Ballista him. And then we're going to go hunt down, on our way over to the Pinky, we're going to hunt down any soldiers that are missing, and then we're going to punch the Pinky. This is why we don't, even though this Pinky is required, we don't glory kill him because we want to get rid of him as quickly as possible. I don't know if you guys remember back when we were all the way at the beginning of this level, I mentioned how we're going to glory kill Pinkies that don't matter. This is why, because we can short circuit this fight.
Blood punch, not glory kill.
Also, we want to blood punch him right away. We want to kill him instantly.
Yeah, sorry, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's why. We could just glory kill this guy, but it'd be slow. We want to blood punch him, and we actually save blood punch for this guy. Okay, so does any of that matter? If you're a beginner, no, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just go after the heavies, ignore the soldiers, kill all the heavies, and then maybe go after the soldiers sometimes. Soldiers will respawn when a Hell Knight or a Pinky is alive on the field, but that can sometimes, as it happens, it's complicated. Don't worry about it. Just do the fight normally and just try and stay alive. I'd recommend staying in the center simply for safety, and go after the carcasses, even if it means delaying the Dread Knight or slowing down the fight, because the carcass can bother you the most, right? So yeah, let me just do it again very slowly. I'm gonna come in, I'm just gonna dash once. Alright, kills a bunch of those dudes. Carcass usually shows up over here, but this time he didn't. He's up there, it's fine. Killing soldiers, try not to die. I've only killed one carcass. Let's kill a second. 2, 3. See, the carcass is scary. You just came up behind me and wrecked me. But I think this is about the time I should have to chainsaw. So let's do that. Jump up over here. This is also a very nice and safe spot. We can kill carcasses at distance. Get our PV shots. Dread Knight spawns. See the Prowler spawn at the center of the bridge. Punch this dude. This is very risky, don't do what I'm doing. Whiffing shots with a super shotgun. And there, I short-circuited the fight and it was kind of bad. And it was kind of risky, right? I should have instead just backed off, locked on. And it would have been fine, it would have been just as fast, right? So, to recap. I'm giving you extra details because I can, not because you should really think about them that much if you're starting out, right? That's the way I would do it if I were playing, and I do that surrogate that way. But if you're at a higher frame rate, you could do it the way Matty does, Zaya does over here, where he does it over in this corner. As you can see, he's hunting for stuff, and then when he feels it, he gets to the center, and then he fights the Dread Knight from a distance this way. So that's the cute little thing. And then he gets lucky, of course, because that's what you need.
Yeah, for a world record, you know, sometimes you need to be a bit lucky.
Okay, so he fast travels and then he white screens again. That way he can also interact with the terminal here. It's hard to see, but you might be able to see it. The use key. So he's actually able to interact with the terminal, so he interacts with it. And now he can start escaping. That's why he white screens. Small optimization, you don't have to worry about it. A little thing he does here, very important. The door opens, he dashes once. It's actually very important. If he doesn't dash, there's a tentacle right under him, right over here, that will bonk him if he doesn't dash first. So that's why you want to dash. It's actually kind of an important detail. You're going to be wondering, why am I always getting wrecked by tentacles here? He never does. It's actually because of that dash. It does that. Flies past. Chainsaw's here because we're going to need that for the Fortress of Doom coming up. And then just standard movement, bunny hops. Grabs a wall.
Standard movement, but it's not obvious if you haven't practiced it a bit.
Okay, so now the Fortress of Doom. Here, some routing notes. Don't do this if you're a beginner or if you're playing Ultra Nightmare. Just go grab the Sentinel crystals before Super Gore Nest. What he's going to do here is going to clear up one side of the Fortress of Doom. But instead, what I'd have you do is just not do any of this. And instead, before Super Gore Nest, spend your batteries on whatchamacallits, the Sentinel crystals to get more HP and health, or health and armor. So he plugs in batteries, the holy grail of speedrunning, if we can figure out how to skip this animation.
Skip animations? Yeah.
It costs 7 seconds, I believe, in total to plug in a battery. Oh yeah, and by the way, the reason that we're doing this, let me actually back up here for a moment. The reason we're doing it here is because of this guy. Vega has a long speech here. I think it lasts 20 seconds. And so we're doing all this just so we can be doing something while Vega's talking. Otherwise, we'd just be sitting at the portal and waiting. So that's why we're doing it now at this specific spot. And it turns out it saves about, I think, I can't remember the exact number, it was like 20 seconds over getting everything at the end or doing some things before Super Gore Nest and then everything else at the end. So that's why we're doing this now, because we might as well be doing something while Vega's talking.
Yeah.
So yes, he plugs in some batteries, picks up some tokens. Nothing that special. I don't want to skip here because it's going to be kind of disorienting. Blitz the boost backwards. Notice how he went to the higher one first. That way, when he blitzed the boost backwards here, he can reach this one easily. If he went from this spot, then back to the other one, he'd have to do a little bit different movement. Small optimization. Exciting gameplay, I know. Very exciting. Like, it's not, and now he death warps here, just so he can get back here. He forgets where he's going for a second, and then he goes to the actual spot that he's supposed to. So here, a small note about some things about the rules. You you don't technically have to pick this up. Nothing in this container here gives you anything of value, right? But what it does do is it unlocks a suit. You can unlock any suit, and it will give you the custom suit codex, or the custom suit. I think that's what it is. And as long as you unlock any suit, it will give you that codex, and that's required for 100%, of course. But because this one is closest to a secret that's down here, we're gonna unlock this one. So he's just gonna plug in batteries here, just because it's closest to the secret. So I think we might be able to see it over here that he unlocks the codex. Small note here. Actually, this is actually a little bit of a small note. There's an invisible wall right here. He's going to go around it. I would just recommend going the intended way. This is a little bit tricky for some people to do. Just go the intended way. He's going to go kind of around it. Pick up this the thing. He's going to drop down here. Another. I actually back up here. Another optimization that he could do, but he doesn't. I don't think he even knows about it. I don't think I've reported on this one. But there's actually a death plane right beside this platform here. You can dash out and then over to the left, and it'll be a little bit faster than falling down. Worth mentioning. Death plane brings you back all the way over here. Pretty nice. As opposed to taking the portal. And then he just goes back. Oh, alright. I think I got everything.
I agree.
I think that's everything with Super Gore Nest. And we've only been live for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I said I wasn't going to do an hour and a half episode, but then I did an hour and 15-minute episode.
Yeah,
and he got a gold
15
on
minutes
this.
faster.
He got a gold, of course, on that Super Gore Nest. That was actually a pretty good Super Gore Nest. Okay, well that's it for me. I think who's the next episode? Who's doing the next episode? Who's doing the next one?
Marscore
It's me,
is...
isn't it?
No, Arc. The next episode is Arc.
It's right in front of me. I gotta remember the actual levels that exist in the order of this video game. I can't remember that, of course.
And it's Arrhythmia should be doing
Arrhythmia, okay.
Arc, apparently. And you'll be doing Marscore, yeah.
I will. Yeah, that's right. I'll be doing Marscore. I'll try and keep it shorter than this episode.
No. But it's an interesting level, and you went into, I think, the right level of detail, because a lot of it. It's not that it feels irrelevant, in the sense that you can complete the level without counting the fodder and the imps and whatever. But it's completely key if you want to push your times lower, if you want to get a better time, and if you want to understand how you can improve your, I'm going to say your own routing, because you're going to have your own backup strats, and you're going to have the fights are not going to go perfectly, so you need to know what you have to do next, and it's going to allow you to improvise within the boundaries of what's most efficient.
And to be fair to myself, there is like Super Gore Nest is filled with those little tips. Like the first fight, when I watched people play, I didn't notice that they were jumping to kill that second prowler in the first fight. And then when I played, I was like, oh god, you actually have to jump there, otherwise the carcass has a good chance of shielding it. So like little things like there's a bunch of little things like that where you're like, well, that never happens to Zai. Like, why does it never happen to him? So that's why I kind of went into that detail, because I actually have personal experience with this level in terms of like those little details. Okay, so I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. Tune in next episode. Arrhythmia is going to cover Art Complex. See you later.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Drake, for doing this again.
No problem.
For volunteering once more. And yeah, see you guys around.
Bye-bye.